So much to talk about racing. Super Saturday at Flemington yesterday. A very strong meeting in Sydney with the Chipping Norton States. Max Presnell, normally I welcome you secondly, but why was there such a difference, do you think, in the timing yesterday? Sydney seemed to start a bit later than normal, Melbourne earlier than normal, and we had this big gap at the end of the day with the hours difference.
Melbourne, bloody Melbourne. You're just a strange mob. You will not conform. You won't get your daylight saving into order.
Hey, Keith, I heard Ian Craig actually say that yesterday on 2KY, that they do things a little bit differently in Melbourne. Well, I think we've got about 18,000 in Melbourne. Yesterday they've got 8,000 at Warwick Farm.
That's dead right,
Keith?
Bruce. I think Sydney's behind us, and now officially they are. They're an hour behind us.
Was it Super Saturday, Keith? I mean, it deserved 30,000, not 17 or 18 or 19 or 20.
It was a very special race meeting. During the week we had the International Women's Day. Yesterday that flowed over to Flemington because it was Gay and Kay. Gay Waterhouse winning her first Group 1 in Melbourne, her first race at Flemington, all our mob in the Newmarket, and Kay Miller watching from Perth with after a knee operation, winning with Starstruck. It was a fantastic day for the women, Bruce.
It was. You've got to be careful when you're up here and talking about Gay, don't you?
Yeah,
I mean,
well, it's lovely Women's Day and it flowed over to Flemington. Good on you, Keith. Yes, a Sydney lady and a Perth lady scooped the pool in Melbourne. Yes, Super Saturday, 16,000. You know, the city of outstanding attendances, and a great day's racing it was too, but 16,000, by gee, it's not an outstanding
Well,
crowd.
that's unofficial at the moment. I guess, Keith, the other thing about yesterday, we were going to hail two superstars, two champions had they won, Hariba and Jern, and they both got done.
Yes, let's firstly look at Jern. If there was an excuse, and there certainly wasn't in the run of the race, the only excuse you could put up, Bruce, that he went in a little underprepared with two 1,400-metre runs under his belt.
What did you think, Keith? I mean, I thought he had every chance. Harris did a very good thing on the home turn when he was able to bullock his way out. He didn't have to go so wide, and I thought he had his chance to beat Starstruck in the straight.
Well, there's Solvent in front. He's a Cox Plate winner, and when he led so comfortably as they turned for home, we thought that this Australian Cup might be won again by Solbert, but he punctured quickly, and when Jern got out, he was being hailed the winner. He has a trait of hanging in. Wayne Harris had to use his earmarked white whip in his left hand. He is obviously not an easy horse to ride.
Here's the key. He was able to get out here. Watch him bullock. Bullocks his way, three from the left, so he didn't cover any ground, didn't have to go around Innocent King. Gets his chance here, but you blokes might forget, I know you've got selective memories, I did tip Starstruck 3 weeks ago.
I think that was moments before you put such a massive rap on Jern.
It was.
Well, here's Jern coming now. Now, Jern's got him covered now. Now we'll find out where is his enthusiasm to win.
Yes, but Keith, don't you agree, the preparation, you'd only had the 1,400-metre run going in.
I think that is what mattered most at the finish. He's a very good horse. He's obviously not an easy horse to ride, but look, let's give credit where it's due, and it was due to the Millers yesterday. Shane Miller selected this horse as a Gay Waterhouse cast-off. Johnny Miller, who won a Melbourne Cup and a Caulfield Cup in '66, was there taking all the praise, but it belonged to his son, Mark Miller, and to his wife, Kay, back at home in Perth, Bruce.
And I think the other big story, the New Zealand Challenge completely fizzled. We had Star Dancer, had won 4 in a row. The Old Phantom, a lovely old horse, but he's getting on, and Solvent was a dreadful disappointment.
Obviously, Solvent went too fast, though. Finished near the tail of the field. Our Pompey that chased him. They put on the pace. The race was made for Jern. Jern was a trifle disappointing. When things go these horses' way now, that they look outstanding. Durbridge had to do it a bit tougher yesterday and was found wanting. I don't think that these horses seem to have the ability to overcome a little adversity.
But Jern certainly didn't dog it yesterday. Jern tried his heart out, in my opinion, right to the line.
Well, I don't know whether he was really going to the line with a great deal of enthusiasm. He was sticking his tongue out. Was that at me?
Well, probably and hopefully, but I think you're right, Bruce, that Jern did try right to the line. There's some more wins from Jern again this autumn. Starstruck, Max, is heading your way.
What do we make of Hariba, Keith? An amazing start to this Newmarket where we had horses going left, right and centre.
Yes.
You'll see it in a moment. I mean, lucky there wasn't great interference.
A demolition derby at the start now. Eddie Cassar on the heavyweight wants to go to the outside rail where it was slower. He wipes out about 5 runners, including Cut Up Rough in the fluoro yellow colours, who finished 5th and maybe should have gone close to winning the race. Eddie Cassar got 5 weeks because of steering the wrong way. Hariba Bruce looked the winner, but he had a big weight. The track was not rock hard, his preferred surface. But in the end, again, it was all our mob swooping home. Wayne Harris, Gay Waterhouse, a winning combination. Hariba just couldn't carry the big weight on the track that was not rock hard and do it for so long. He was sitting there waiting for someone to grab him, and in the end, it was all our mob.
There's a fair bit of criticism, Max, written about when all our mob changed stables to Gay Waterhouse, wasn't there? I think people felt that the guys have been hard done by.
Yes, I still think the guys have, probably were hard done by, but nevertheless, that's the past. You've got to concentrate in the future. All our mob is now with the Smiths, and there it is, the Smith-Waterhouse Bone and Muscle going to the line tremendously. But just a word on Hariba. Hariba's another one. Again, we've got a top-class horse. I nearly said champion, but one that's got to have all the circumstances to suit him. They can't overcome a little bit of adversity. Could
you believe, Max, that Hariba wouldn't win one of the Triple Crown races, the Lightning, the Oakley, or the Newmarket, after he's winning the old William Reid on that Australia Day?
Well, that was a freakish performance, and he hasn't reproduced that. Again, he mightn't have got quite the same conditions.
I actually meant to ask Keith that. I mentioned
well, actually, I'm agreeing with you, Max, that with these top liners, and they are top liners, but there is just that small flaw in each and every one of them, and that's why, again, and it is becoming repetitive, each week we're lauding one and damning another. There's a different set every Sunday.
Gentlemen, you've got to be careful when you call a horse a champion.
Exactly. That's why I pulled up.
Well, I'm not going to go back to last spring. The sires, Lockray. This was a good training performance by Gerald Ryan. He's going to put him straight out for a spell, Keith. But the Blue Diamond form fell all apart. And, you know, Flying Spur again, I thought was pretty disappointing, and Principality didn't fire one shot.
Gerald Ryan overlooked the Blue Diamond to concentrate on this size produce for Lockray, and that's him in the brown and the gold colours of the Hawthorn Football Club, giving Ron and Dorothy Cook yet another big race win. They've won 5 Group 1 races. Lady Jackie O and Jolly Old Mac gave them 2 each, and this is a very good youngster. Flying Spur, he's tough and he's still going to Sydney. Principality's a little fellow, and he just didn't back up after his tough run to win the Blue Diamond last week.
Donor second, Melbourne form, no. Not the 2-year-old.
Well,
I won't be careful. No, I've come straight out and say, no, I think they'll get rolled in.
Exclusive Halo might be our best chance in the...
He wasn't racing there.
No, in the Golden Slipper. Talk about Melbourne form, no good. 3-year-old filly Melbourne form's all right. Keith Princess Duel comes up here. Couldn't get warm in Melbourne this time up and knocks them off in the surround. And what about this one, Northwood Plume? Won't she make a horrible mess of Max's lot when she comes to Sydney, Keithy?
Well, she was the best in Australia in the spring. She's still the best, and traditionally, the best filly virtually goes through undefeated. There's nothing in the land will match this filly. Damien Oliver back from suspension yesterday, had a winning treble, riding his time, a flawless ride on the best filly in the race, and she gathered them in. In the end, it was a soft win. Max just looked for something to run the Quinella behind Northwood Plume when she comes and said, you won't beat her.
I've heard it all before. I've heard it all before. What did she beat, Keith?
Well, she's beaten everything. What could beat her? What would you serve up to beat her?
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do with you.
Yes.
I think in the Oaks, Danarani. Just a nice quiet run yesterday. Bart Cummings is giving this filly a good foundation. Certainly Northwood Plume is a very, very classy filly. I don't deny that. But she's not home and hosed.
Well, Max, we normally have a shilling on the side. Make it dinner at your or my favourite Sydney restaurant on that outcome.
There's a big difference between your favourite restaurant
McDonald's,
and Max's, unfortunately.
McDonald's is Keith.
Let's go to the Chipping Norton in Sydney. Pharaoh winning yesterday. Dreadfully sad the Golden Sword broke down and had to be destroyed. It was an absolute tragedy.
Just the luck of the game. Now, here is Pharaoh making his own way in front. A very good racehorse, hanging together by a thread. Pharaoh's got more problems than Keith Hillier. But look at him now. He's thoroughly enjoying himself.
They haven't tried to retire Keith yet, have they?
Well, I think it's about time they considered it.
Get into him, Keith. The mic's still open.
There is Pharaoh in front, and certainly never really looked like being run down. You'll see down the outside, Air Seattle put in a very encouraging performance, and certainly he seems to have come back very well. But it is Pharaoh. I'm not getting carried away with this form. On the rail is Telesto, showing something like his true form, but full honours go to Pharaoh, go to Gay Waterhouse for the way she's prepared this croc, and as I say, he's holding together quite nicely now.
Keith, TJ in the ownership there, and of course TJ last won the Newmarket Handicap in 76 with Toy Show, so it was a real day for Tommy and Gay yesterday, and one newspaper writer that wrote that Tommy is Gay's greatest idol, and Gay is Tommy's.
Yes, it's a mutual friendship. Like you and Max, we've
sure.
got to go, Keith. I'll see you next week, Max. You too.
Can't wait to see you in Sydney, Max.
Good on you.
Bring your McDonald's money.
Kate back after this break with the latest scores.